Real quick, Wayno, you could just tilt up just a hair, and then your phone will be good. And I'll
Right
start.
here, AJ.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Hang
wait.
on a second.
Can't hear you yet, academics.
Oh my God.
Good people, you are watching Everyday Struggle here on Complex. I am Nadeska here with my co-host Wayno and Akademiks. It's Thursday, Friday, and today Akademiks is really on his bullshit. What's up with you guys?
Yes, you.
Y'all know what time it is, man. Look at the hat, man. Zone 6. Y'all know what time it is. This is like the MAGA hat.
You know when the Zone 6 hat come out, he on some bullshit.
Nah, this is the street niggas right here, man. Come on, man. This is like the MAGA hat for the street niggas. That's all I'm trying to say, man.
Reel it back in, act relax.
Let's get straight to it, man. Oh my God.
No, you know what's funny? Nadeska, me and Akademiks is funny. We I was doing my my Instagram live where I picked like my songs for my playlist with Audio Mac, right? And Ak got on and Ak sent me a song. Ak actually sent me some shit.
Yo, I popped on Instagram live. I see my man Wayno looking a little bit inspired. I'm like, you know what's going on? He must not be hearing any hits. Wayno is someone who gets activated when he hear hits. So of course I sent my man a hit. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, I'm only doing what we should all do. Okay, bringing some great music. You know, salute to Wayno and salute to people at Audio Mac. Clearly, they were in need of some hot music. I delivered. No cap.
Some hot music.
You gotta love this
I love
guy.
to see you guys. I see you guys supporting each other, and I love it.
Always.
That doesn't mean that Ike is not on his bullshit this morning, though. But don't worry, guys. We're going to run the tape back for you soon. You can see exactly what we mean. Before we start the show is always the best time. I'm just going to let you know that.
Tape. Fake news.
Fake news. But yo, guys, so speaking of some good music, this week Roddy Ricch joined Lil Baby as the only rapper to go double platinum this year with his album Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. So while he was celebrating, Roddy also pointed out on Twitter that he hit that milestone without dropping a deluxe. Now it seems like almost everybody's dropping a deluxe project these days. So do you guys feel like that's a big accomplishment without the deluxe version?
Oh man, listen. Rappers are petty. Okay. By the way, this was 100%, a little bit of a shade towards Lil Baby, who did go double platinum. Him and Lil Baby's the only one who did it, right? Lil Baby obviously did it with a huge push with the deluxe, which by the way, the deluxe only added to Lil Baby's project. He dropped 6 songs on his deluxe. Great body of work, great music, great addition with the deluxe. But I do believe Roddy Ricch kind of felt a little type of way when obviously, a lot of people felt that Lil Baby may have gotten snubbed in the best artist category. And while some were only focused on the category that Meg the Stallion won over him, people also felt like, because he had tweeted and kind of mentioned himself or retweeted someone who was saying, yo, how you didn't win like best like artist or something like that. Is either best artist or best album. I think it might have been best album. I think best artist went to Meg. I think best album went to him and Roddy Ricch. And we saw he didn't retweet anything about the best artist, but he did retweet something about the best album. I could imagine Roddy Ricch looking at that like to say, hold on, man, this wasn't no like foregone conclusion that you should have won. Truth be told, I feel like I should won. And I think that's kind of him sticking up for himself. I don't think necessarily he's trying to like take shots at him, but he's trying to like let people know I'm very proud of what I did. You get me? By the way, Meg won the award for like best artist, but she ain't really come out saying, man, fuck all y'all who think I should have won. I know I should win this award. She kind of took it in stride. I think this was Roddy Ricch saying, yeah, y'all ain't gonna have me feeling bad about the project I put out because y'all all riding this dude right here. Pause.
Yeah, but I mean, like with this album, I think a lot of people kind of forgot about Roddy Ricch. I feel like that a bit, and not saying that we did. I just think that like once COVID happened and all of that, like and the box and all of that it was from last year. It was still very early, but as everything went on, we just seen more people put out their albums, and I think people forgot about the top of the year. I ain't gonna front. Everything before March felt like it's a year ago, right? So I think that Roddy, he might feel a little slighted. Like he should. It's a lot of more nominations he should have. Like he had a song by himself that was #1. Like
I'm wondering if this manifests into him thinking he has like maybe a little bit to prove with the upcoming album that he's working on. You get
I,
me?
de- I, I definitely feel like he has a chip on his shoulder this time around.
Really?
Because yeah, I definitely feel. I mean, he did get a lot of great accolades. You know, he did get a Grammy this year. You know, the balling record. You know, but as far as like the considerations, all people have been talking about this year and is the Little Baby album. You know, but the reason why I didn't look at it as a slight to Little Baby because he dropped the deluxe. Little Baby only dropped 6 songs on his deluxe. Shit, Uzi dropped a whole nother album as a deluxe. You know what I mean? Like it's been tons of people that's been dropping like deluxes, and I just think that he's just on some shit like, hey, you know why everybody's riding the wave? I did it the old fashioned way with just one album. You know?
That's unfortunate because it's such a great album, but as Wayno mentioned, when the album dropped, it always seems like dropping in December is kind of a weird time. Like this always happens. You're coming at the end of this calendar year, and then once people start dropping at the top of the year, then it sort of gets drowned out. Not that I feel like that necessarily happened because it was such a good album, but is dropping in December just a bad idea so close to the holidays?
I mean, for me, no, but I truly understand what you're saying because it kind of makes people because it's around the holidays. It kind of makes people forget during the year when it dropped. You know, not like how it used to be, but like remember when 21 Savage dropped and A Boogie dropped in the same month? I think it was in 2018. You know, what I mean, they dropped in 2018 in December, and their albums did ride out the year, but it's like you couldn't remember where the start came. But yeah, I think that like it's cool if you got strong music, like the fourth quarter is not a time to play. Like you can't be a new guy. You got to be a big dog dropping the fourth quarter. And I think Roddy, after dropping his album, he definitely put himself in that position. Like if he drops within the next couple weeks or drops in December, I'm not mad at it.
I think it's a curse of having a big single. If we look at number one, I think when you have a song that is so dominating, people actually forget what the thought was about the particular project. For example, the Baby, honestly, when his project dropped, it didn't get that good of reviews. But after we see like what's the name of the song?
Rockstar.
After Rockstar is doing really well, it feels like people are almost trying to rewrite how they consume the project because of that particular song. I believe that the success of the box has drowned out a bit how great Roddy's album was. I think we forget that, when we did listen to that album and when we did review it, well, not just us here, I'm just talking about like just people in general. I think he touted that album as one of the best albums in terms of transition wise. We actually looked at the album to say, the way how the transitions worked were seamless. I think we also looked at it to say, he's really good at putting together a project. I feel like the success of the box, which might, as an artist, you might be like, damn, I want a song to really take off like that. It drowns people out from the success or how the quality of the body of work. And it also makes it just makes it feels like you've been riding the wave of that one song all year rather than the whole album.
That's interesting. I never thought about it like that. Look, shout out to Roddy. Don't let the internet and these award shows get under your skin too much. It's really a great album. I still pay that back all the time. So, in other music news, Future and Lil Uzi confirmed yesterday that their collab project is dropping this Friday. We don't have a track list yet. We don't have any guest features yet. We spoke about this briefly before, but now that we're so close, just a day away, are you guys expecting this project to have a big impact?
Fuck no. I think this project is gonna be the definition of comes and goes. You get me? I think for the fans of both artists, and I think there's a mutual overlap there where people who like Future probably like Uzi, and people who like Uzi might like Future. I don't see either artist putting too much emphasis on this. And again, I often question why the fuck are you doing it if it feels like you're just gonna drop like a tweet or so and just kind of throw this out and just hope people just gravitate towards it. But I do think, hey, maybe it's just music that they created in a certain zone, and they kind of force their managers or their labels to like, get with it and release. But I don't think they're that committed to it that is gonna make enough of a splash. They probably have a video or two, but I don't think that they're going that hard.
I think numbers wise is gonna do good, but it's still a very odd pairing and shit. Like it's still a very odd pairing. Like I like the songs that they do have together, but I don't know if I wanted a whole album from them. You know what I mean? Like I think that 16 tracks is a whole lot. I think that it's very unexpected, and I think that the pressure will kind of be on as to can Future outdo his other collab tapes. You know what I mean? Like he has one of the best collab albums, like in a collab album catalog with What It's Time to Be Alive. You know what I'm saying? Super slimy. is going to be compared to his predecessors. You know what I mean? That's all they're going to compare it to. And if it doesn't live up to it, they're going to be like, well, why the hell did you do it anyway? You know what I mean? But ultimately, I think it's going to, like Ax said, I think it's going to be a come and go thing. But of course, their fan bases, their core fan base is going to be excited about it. Me as a core Future fan, though, I'm not really excited.
That's interesting. I'm sure, fans are probably always confused why two top tier artists would want to drop a project that you guys would think will come and go. But anyway, let's check out this fan question. It's sort of related then, maybe it's just a business move, and it's actually a video. Let's take a look.
What's up, Everyday Struggle? My name is C Rose 321, and my question to you guys is, what's more important to an artist's success? Is it their business acumen or their artistry?
Business acumen. Definitely business acumen. I think that the artists who do last long in this game, and I see a lot of artists believe that if you're only selling X amount of records, or if you're only doing it this way, that you could be successful. There's tons of artists that transition and adapt throughout the times. There's gonna be a time when you're not the new guy anymore. You got to adapt to your next business move. That might just be solely touring. That might not be touring locally, but touring out of states. You know what I mean? You got to have a great business team and a great management system and good people around you that get the job done. There's tons of artists who are great at their art, but the reason why they're not appreciated is because the business doesn't lead that art to be consumed a large way.
Yeah, I feel like there's just too many examples of artists who we consider great or talented that don't have necessarily the success that matches their talent, so to speak. So I'm gonna have to go with business. I think there might be a different answer here, just because I don't think it's just strictly business, unless we're gonna lump in a lot of other things including that we're including as business, in terms of like just saying it's just someone's talent or just someone's artistry. If we're saying that, I just don't feel like it's enough. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much intangibles that go into someone succeeding, whether it's networking, whether it's the ability to do particular things in terms of make songs, communicate, or resonate with an audience. Like, there's a lot of intangibles there that not necessarily I wouldn't call business, but I think it goes way beyond just someone's actual talent or someone's actual craft. So I'll chalk it up as that, but I just feel like success sometimes it's a whole different um mixed bag of tricks that you have to kind of combine to get that.
Right.
Very true. All right, so one album we know is not coming in the fourth quarter is Drake's new project, Certified Lover Boy, that's coming at the top of 2021. Our fan question: Ak and Wayno, do you think Drake is going full commercial like he did with Views with Certified Lover Boy? Because he said it was going to be hated at first, and despite being commercial, it's still going to be album of the year. I didn't know that Views being commercial was the issue a lot of people had with it, but Akademiks, would you like to start us off?
First of all, I don't know what someone means in terms of Drake going full commercial. Like, the guy essentially is making music, and no matter what music he makes turns to pop music. I will say though, and I've always said, remember, go back to the original, when we're doing little skits and commercials for Everyday Struggle. One of the things that I think Joe had said was More Life was better than Views. I've always thought Views was better. And I thought Drake got to a point where he couldn't appease people. And again, Views was held on such a pedestal. You got to remember, he gave us Take Care. He gave us Nothing Was the Same. And then of course he took a second, he went left. He hit us with If You're Reading This Is Too Late. And he also hit us with What a Time to Be Alive. I think it was inevitable that he couldn't please people with a sound. Even he was trying to give the people Take Care Part 2, but he couldn't please people. It also shows that you can't do the same. There's an interesting skit on 21 Savage album with Morgan Freeman that says, can you do the same thing twice? Sometimes you just can't please people, even when you attempt to give them what they want. Drake attempted to give people what they want, couldn't do it. If I'm reading his comment and even reading him saying people are going to hate on it kind of like they did Views, he's going to, again, attempt to give people what they want in terms of, oh, y'all all love Nothing Was the Same and Take Care. Let me attempt to give y'all it and watch what people are going to do. They're going to spit in his face and probably appreciate it later.
Act. Please don't sit here and act like... Now look, Views it hit different later on. But on first listen, it was like, listen, first listen, we thought that he was coming a certain way. We did. I didn't think that, I never thought that Views was whack or nothing, but I felt like Views was one of those albums that had to grow on you. Like Views was an album that like you come back a year later and you be like, oh, I see what he was trying to do with everything he did. When we first heard that, don't act like you was just off the rip like, oh no, this is the greatest shit ever. You felt like that?
No, I felt he was trying to recreate a sound. Yo, honestly, I felt the difference between Views and Take Care, right? And by the way, let me throw Nothing Was the Same into it. Is that I believe Take Care, we saw the Weeknd's, him and the Weeknd really create a sound that was long gone by the time Views came around. It felt like he was trying to recreate a style, or trying to, harness a style and a flow and, a type of feel that we looked at him and like he had help getting the first time. So truth be told, like just look at it. Keep the Family Close, Feel No Ways, 9, shit. He had Control on there, Still Here. Truth be told, he was going for it. Fine Desire, he was going for that feel of Take Care. I just feel like we weren't ready to have it. And by the way, ain't it ironic that recently he also gave his opinion about like Nothing Was the Same. Everybody now is saying Nothing Was the Same as a classic. It's one of those things where like I don't think Drake's projects get the proper due in the moment. And maybe that's just an artistic type of thing where he says, yo, y'all won't understand now anyway, but in 2 years, Wayno gonna call this a classic. So let me drop it anyway.
That's interesting. You have a thought? Because for me, Views was the only Drake album that I did not love on first listen. I definitely loved Nothing Was the Same from jump.
Wait, so you like More Life with gigs just only like you like all that bullshit?
Stop shitting on gigs.
See, that's the thing. You always want to turn into something else. Guess what?
I love
Views, like I said, on first listen, I didn't. It's a lot of shit on there that I didn't get. Now, like a couple months later, once you started seeing how the music was resonating, because we was outside at that time. You know what I mean? Like we was outside at the time. Once you start seeing like certain clubs pick up certain records and all that, you're like, oh shit, this shit do. You know what I mean? You go back and revisit. I think that on this one, he's gonna come with some new sounds that nobody's ever heard. That's why he's saying that. Because I feel like he did that on Views. Like he came with shit that people didn't expect him to do. You know?
I mean, I like those singles like Controller and stuff. Isn't this the project where he said he was a dark youth when he made this? I think some of it just came off like very dark for me at first, compared to then the Controllers and the One Dance. So that's all. It just took a while to digest.
Nah, this was absolutely this was the year after he watched Meek. So like, of course, like he was still in a dark place. He was still yo. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, Drake is really still in a place where like he's really trying to please the fans, because he's in a position of just keep what you have. It's almost impossible to grow bigger than you are. You are the example of how big you could get. How like what else could he do? He tried to give us literally every critique about Drake. He tried to answer on Scorpion. Yo, he don't rap enough. Yo, if he ever made a rap album, he'll get a classic. He should just make a rap album and an R&B album. He did it. Niggas still ain't like it. You know what I mean? So now he's back to his old tricks. He's realizing he can't please everyone. So I think this is a little bit him accepting what it's gonna be. Okay, y'all are gonna be cool off of it at first and later like it a little bit more. Fuck it.
I like the anticipation of knowing that it's coming 2 months out. That's how shit used to be. Like knowing that's actually nowadays, like all the albums that drop, we find out they're dropping that week. It's like I like the anticipation of waiting 2 months, because and also I think he's probably gonna be changing shit right now. He pays attention to everything, so I think that he's probably just like getting the final touches on it. But I like him giving himself a lot of breathing room, letting people know that it's coming, and giving himself a lot of breathing room so that they know that he's gonna start the year off right.
Man, all this criticism from all these people Ak is talking about, it's just so funny because he's still going to drop an album that's going to go to #1 and it's going to be great. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I really, really love Side A of Scorpion. That's like some of the best Drake ever. So Certified Lover Boy, everyone. Coming in January. And to our viewers, thank you for sending all these fan questions so far. Thank you for sending the videos. We have a couple more from you guys. But first, quickly, LA producer Willie B was on Twitter yesterday, a couple days ago. He's produced for TD and Dreamville, also known as the Ichiban Don. So he posed this question that got a lot of people talking. The question was, can a trap artist be considered a true lyricist? And if not, why?
Absolutely. I mean, it all goes. I think we all classify. We have to figure out what we consider a trap artist, because in that case, I ain't gonna lie, trap is this thing that people made its own genre by like 2009, 2010, 11 ish. When I hear a trap artist, I think of Jeezy. I mean, I think of Jeezy. I think of Gucci. I think of Ti. And to me, Jeezy a lyricist. Now, does he handle it the same way Jadakiss does? No, but I feel like Jeezy made some of the best albums because of his raps in his early career. You know what I'm saying? Same with Ti. I feel like Ti is a trap artist. Now, I think by definition of today, with today's trap is, that's when it kind of gets sticky. But in that case, look at Lil Baby. I think there was a point in time where people only considered Lil Baby a trap artist, and I feel like within the next year or two, he's gonna be considered probably the best rapper, in the game. I think that the conversation that needs to start being had about Lil Baby is his lyricism, is how he puts his words together. It's like more of the show and prove records. You know what I mean? And when we had him here, he told us how important he felt. Like even like making a record like Whoa, where Whoa is the shit is almost like it's a kid friendly hook, but when you listen to what he's saying, like he really rapping on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, to answer or at least just react to the statement by Willie B. I think this question is about like 3 or 4 years late. Truth be told, I think Wayno brought up a great point. I would argue and go to bat for, just like if we're just saying just straight lyricists or whatever, like, and maybe his point was like, with most traditional trap artists, like you see like hints and like flares, but you wouldn't really consider them lyricists. Man, I kid you not. Like, I think Ti dropped a very lyrical album when he dropped on Paper Trail. That was 2008. You know what I mean? Like that's 12 years ago. I feel like now if we're having like serious discussion, I feel like the stigma still exists, but I would sit here and argue with anyone who would dare look at me and say, yo, Lil Baby, like he's not a great, lyrical rapper when he wants to be, or at times. I think trap rap, if you want to call it that, I don't think it's synonymous with just, not having bars or not having dope wordplay or not having people who are good at like putting dope verses together. So I look at that now and I'm like, I think the snobbiness of that has been removed. It's the reason why we're talking about Lil Baby the way we do. And again, I remember at first when I even said, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man, I felt like this guy, this was 2 years ago, I felt like he had like one of the best verse, and I think he might have been Sold Out Dates. And at first people were like, yo, we're like talking about like lyricists. But I think, these guys are shown and proof where they've shown that they could make dope songs and still exhibit a high level of lyricism, where they're using wordplay and all other things.
I think it also goes into the production, because I said this before. I feel like Benny the Butcher and Lil Baby rap about a lot of the same shit. You know what I mean? They just say it different and the beats are different. You know what I'm saying? Like the beats are different, so it's perceived a certain way. But like a lot of Benny the Butcher's content is the same content that Lil Baby has. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the shit that he's talking about in the music, it's just the production. That makes people perceive it a different way.
Never.
All right, guys. So for our last story today, we're going to end on a heavy note. Obviously, hip-hop is still mourning the loss of King Von. And yesterday we got news that Dallas rapper Mo3 was shot and killed. So rest in peace to him. Condolences to his friends and his family. Boosie paid his respects on Twitter. And it got a lot of people talking, with some rappers like Freddie Gibbs weighing in, saying rap is a dangerous job. So we have a couple more fan questions for you guys about this. The first one, is hip-hop now the most dangerous profession in America?
No. I don't believe that. And Waka Flocka talked about this earlier this year. Hip hop is not the most dangerous profession in America. Niggas make it dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I think that like there's tons of artists that, like, while hip hop, yes, it can be dangerous somewhat. when we talk about hip hop, when we talk about it being dangerous, we only talking about a certain class of artists, right? We only talking about the artists that are arguing back and forth on Instagram, or the artists that do get in the spats that lead to death. There's tons of artists in hip hop who are very successful that don't deal with none of that don't do none of that. And I think that that's all predicated on artist A and artist B. I think that a lot of people make it dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why the word, like, when people say you casting spells, that's why it's called spelling. When you saying certain shit, when you doing certain shit, when you live in a certain way, certain things is gonna come with that. And every artist does not live the same exact way. Every artist, it does not have to have a entourage of 15 people and they all got guns and they all, when they walk in the spot, they all talking about how nobody not gonna do none of them. That's not every artist. You know what I'm saying? There's tons of people in hip hop who don't have that. I'm pretty sure like JID doesn't have the same problems as Chief Keef would have. You know what I'm saying? Not comparing them directly. I'm just saying this is an artist in one side of the game. This is another artist in another side of the game. And I think that the reason why we always saying it's dangerous is also coming from how people is living. A lot of these niggas live dangerous lives before they start rapping. And then once they start rapping and they start making corporate money, they start bringing the street shit into that. A lot of people can't separate the two, or they don't have teams that can separate the two. I don't think that is one of the most dangerous jobs. You know what I mean? I think it can be dangerous, but it's not the most dangerous shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think what we don't want to admit at times is that a lot of rappers, they find success in showing reality and also bringing those issues and living it out in the music. With all due respect and rest in peace, and I send my condolences to the families and everybody from King Von's camp to even Mo 3. Like, these are artists who were online going back and forth and putting beef music out. Their music, as much as you enjoyed, it was literally it was a soundtrack towards issues that was going on in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, they're dissing people, they're putting those type of records out, which at a certain point, if you're gonna make your beef famous, sometimes it's not gonna turn out too good. You get me? For the most part, it's like a catch-22 a lot of times. A lot of these artists, they really use the music or use beef music to fuel their career, but there usually is consequences with that, because again, if it's helping you, it's probably hurting somebody else. And again, if y'all live in a close proximity, it's not gonna be like, oh great, like you blew up off a song that was dissing me, calling me all type of stuff out my name, disrespecting my family, disrespecting my deceased loved ones. And great, I'm just glad you're rich now, no problem. Unfortunately, there's some repercussions to be had. It's an ever going cycle, because when an artist ain't on, I always look at the artists who are on and be like, yo, you should probably stop doing certain stuff. You know what I mean? But when an artist ain't on, how you gonna tell them, like, whatever's giving them that buzz? And in hip hop, we seek to look for the type of music, the type of artists that are real to what they're saying, not just making some shit up. Their lifestyle is matching the soundtrack.
Okay, so this leads us to our final question before we go then. Hey guys, with all the losses in hip hop from back in the days, Pac, Biggie, and recently Von, shouldn't the label create a no beef class where they forbid artists to entertain beefs? Would it help decrease some of the deaths in hip hop?
Listen, you can't even get these, like, I get what people be saying with shit like that, but that's not how shit work. You wanna know why? Because it's like, end of the day, while companies do profit, off of whatever's going on, whatever the case may be, I almost take it back to like when people used to say, well, if people is killing each other over Jordans, shouldn't Nike speak up? Shouldn't Michael Jordan speak up? No. You want to know why? Because it ain't their job to tell you how to act in that stratosphere. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like what Ak was saying, a lot of times we don't put enough, and I'm not just putting blame. I don't want to blame anybody, but I feel like we don't hold enough artists accountable as men outside of hip hop and for their actions, how they act, as to why these things transpire. They're not making no motherfucking the beef division. Could you imagine the people who run hip hop? It's not only older white people, it's older black people too. They not trying to get in between and none of that shit. You know what I mean? These is people who work in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? I think that there should be a division of people that try to mediate, and we've seen that with like the Master P's and you know what I mean, certain elder statesmen in the game. There should be people that try to mediate certain situations, but nah, they're not doing that because they like that garners them nothing. It takes money to do everything. They're not gonna put no money into something to stop motherfuckers from doing shit that they shouldn't be doing. Period. You know what I mean? Whether we think that the label's making money off them or not, that's just the mindset.
Like, with all due respect, these labels, they make more money if a rapper dies.
Right.
You now own their catalog. You have a finite amount of music that's gonna come out afterwards. The music you already put out, if you didn't recoup, you definitely finna recoup now. You know what I mean? And at that point, you get to drive the narrative all types of different ways. It doesn't really behoove or like really benefit an artist, a label, to be jumping into like they're not the beef squashers. You know what I mean? Like, again, truth be told, when you look at artists, even historically, when labels have been trying to get them a little jump start, you know, a little kickstart, it's like, hey, listen, go get in a relationship that we care about, man. At least go beef with somebody. You know what I mean? Go fake that you got, you know what I mean? Something happened to you, just to give people a reason to care. I just don't see a label trying to hop in and try to stop issues. Now, I mean, have I seen labels try to do that? Yeah, when it's financially ready. Like, I kid you not. I know this is a fact. You know, people always said that, like the 6ix9ine Trippie Redd thing, they're on the same label. Like, hey, I think there was a time his label sat back and said, oh, this is great. This is like good promotion for both of them. But then it came to a point and they're only thinking business-wise. They don't really care about these particular people. Like, yo, you know what? This guy might end up going to jail. Like, they're not thinking like that. There was a point they even said, hey, listen, should they ask me? They were like, hey, do you think these motherfuckers would ever go on tour together? Because now it became such a combustible situation. The next way to monetize it is, hey, if we could get them to, you know how it was a Drake versus Wayne, and obviously didn't have beef, but like imagine two niggas who didn't like each other going on tour together. This shit would be amazing, at least for a label. So I think labels, like, they're not here for morals. They're not here for peacekeeping. They're here for the bread. And usually, a lot of times, when niggas is beefing, money comes in. If niggas die, money still comes in. It's not nothing that's gonna kill what they got going on, right? So,
well, you both made very good points. Thank you for that. I think what
labels
we all
are pariahs. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Pariahs. Listen, I'm not saying that they're encouraging this shit, but trust me, they ain't here to stop it. Okay, they're just here to say if he dies, he dies. That's their motto. Okay, that's their motto, man. I'm just telling y'all. Look at everybody who dies. The labels, like, I don't even want to get in or point out a specific example, but trust me, their labels are doing just fine.
That's a fact.
Unfortunate. But again, guys, thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to send us your fan questions. On this note, hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. From myself, Akademiks and Wayno, we'll see you here Monday on Everyday Struggle.
Air hugs, people. Air hugs.